I'm saying for an individual to get a Scrum Master certification, but you still have people who don't exactly know what a Scrum Master is. And let me take a moment just to explain that a Scrum Master is similar to a project manager. So if you know what a project manager does, you have somewhat of an idea of what a Scrum Master does. The tasks are different. But for the most part, you're guiding and leading and helping teams to deploy projects at the very end. And when I say deploy, I'm talking being able to complete a project at the end, up until the end. Now, what it takes for an individual to get a certification for a Safe Scrum Master, it is a 2-day course. It's a full day course. You have an exam at the end. And once you pass that exam with a 75 or better, if I'm not wrong, what happens is you get your certification. You're able to take a copy of that, submit it into the company for your reimbursement. And then, at the end of your first year having that certification, you pay an annual fee of $100 to maintain that certification, along with some free training that you would have to complete. Now, the average cost for getting that certification right now ranges between $800 to $1,500. And that's going to be for the training as well as the exam. And then your first year of being a Safe Scrum Master would be included. It's just the following year after that you would have to pay for it. Now, the cost, when you talk about the cost of the certification, I highly recommend people look at, like I said before, the tuition reimbursement for them to be able to have this paid for. But even more importantly, $800 to $1,500 out of pocket for you to be placed eventually into a position that pays six figures is just, it's the easiest path to six figures. Let me just say it that way. I personally paid more than that for my certification. I paid $2,000 for my certification. But once I became certified, placed it on my resume, and started applying for those jobs, I was immediately put into a position that paid me over six figures. So I think the investment versus the return is worth it. Before you spend money on a certification, wouldn't you like to know which certification is right for you? Join me on Webinar Wednesday. Every session, I compare certifications: Safe Scrum Master, Certified Scrum Master, PMP, and Release Train Engineer. I will explain what each certification does, who should take it, how much these professionals earn, and what companies are looking for. No pressure, just valuable career information designed to help you make the right decision. Register today, click the link below, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Is it safe to conclude? And you just said the investment is worth it. Is it safe to conclude that in many instances, for the person who may be in a particular job, who may not necessarily be pleased with it, or they may strive to have another position within that company, they want to maybe climb the corporate ladder, if you will. Is it safe to conclude that the only thing that's stopping that individual from advancing is that individual, because they just simply aren't aware of what is necessary to make that step, or that it's probably they're making it a lot more complicated than it has to be?
It's not as complicated as a lot of people think that it is. You know, being able just to open your mouth and ask, just some very simple questions. Do we have tuition reimbursement? Can you pay for this certification? Getting those answers at the beginning helps you to determine, you as a professional, what your next step is going to be. If the company pays for the certification, great, take advantage of it. Leverage that, use it, get your certification, start to network within that company on the teams that are actually hiring Scrum Masters, to put your name in the hat, so that once another position become available, you're a shoe-in. And if you're not just a total shoe-in, at least they know that there's an interest there from you. Leverage the money that's in front of you. but then also do not box yourself in a box that no one put you in, that you put yourself in.
So so what about for the person who says, "Well, I work for a company. I've been there for a while, and I know we don't have tuition reimbursement." What do you say to that person?
I would say if you know that you don't have tuition reimbursement, my challenge to that individual, first of all, would be go back and reconfirm that it's not offered. Because 92% of companies offering some sort of tuition reimbursement is extremely high. But in the worst case scenario, if the company does not offer it, my challenge to that individual would be to pay for it out of pocket.
Mm,
In order for you to reach a goal, sometimes you have to make a sacrifice.
mm, mm. And I mean, you put in a situation. If a person knew ahead of time that if they were to
Mhm.
make, and you said these certifications run from anywhere from how much for a Scrum Master? Anywhere from how much?
On average, when you look online, just a Safe Scrum Master is going to run anywhere from $800. I'm gonna say 1,500. I have seen them higher than 1,500. But just on average,
Eight to
just
fifteen
so the
hundred,
person. Say that
right?
again?
$8 to $1,500, from $800
800
to $1,500.
$800 to $1,500.
Okay, so I'm guessing if a person knew ahead of time, let's just say they had a crystal ball. If they
Mhm,
knew that making not necessarily an $800 investment, but even a $1,500 investment, if they knew that making a $1,500 investment could
mhm.
get them from a job that's currently paying them $70,000 a year to say $120,000 a year, I'm
It's
sure
worth
they
it.
do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's worth it. It's
So
worth the investment.
and I asked that question because it is clearly a situation to where in the event of a person who doesn't necessarily have a company that has tuition reimbursement, that ultimately they have to take the steps to invest in themselves.
Yeah, take the steps to invest in yourself. It's worth you taking your bonus to pay for the training. It's worth it for you to, save to get to the point to where you can pay for it. I mean, it's just worth the investment for you to grow and develop. Ever wonder what a Scrum Master actually does? Here's the simple answer. A Scrum Master helps teams to work smarter, communicate better, remove obstacles, and deliver successful projects. Organizations across nearly every industry are hiring them. A Safe Scrum Master certification is one of the most respected credentials in enterprise agile. You'll learn agile principles, Scrum ceremonies, servant leadership, team facilitation, PI planning, and enterprise agile practices. So, whether you're changing careers, advancing your current role, or re entering into the workforce, this certification could be your game changer. Click the link below to register for the next upcoming training class.